Welcome to the first annual ESPY Awards on Rupaul's Drag Race Season 7. Well, Ru walks into the room and splits them up into teams herself, instead of either letting them choose or what have you. So the whole team leader picking people thing seems to be completely done, which is kind of a good thing. Nobody feels left out. Somewhat. She sets them in teams of two by how they lined up as soon as she came into the room, and gave them the mini challenge of copying a fan's idea and making paper looks out of red carpet couture. Celebrity red carpet couture, actually. First up was Ginger Minge and Candy Ho doing Lil Kim. Yeah. She couldn't move. She really couldn't move. You can see she couldn't move. It was funny, and it actually looked good. It looked good. But she couldn't move. Ru even had that little booby moment, circa Diana Ross. Next, we have Max and Pearl. That was a really good look and a fairly okay Cher impersonation, too. Then we get to Mrs. Kasha Davis with Katya as Bjork, the swan look. It was hilarious, and it doesn't hurt that Kasha Davis dressed up as Joan Rivers and did her own runway spiel, much like Miss Rivers did in life. It was hilarious, absolutely hilarious, gut-splittingly funny. And then we have Miss Fame and Violet Chachki. The dress looked okay, but that's pretty much all you can say. No, so the winners were Mrs. Kasha Davis and Katya. And I think they won mainly because of that spiel and Katya's Bjork impersonation. That was... yeah. And their reward slash punishment was to be the opening act of an award show. Nobody ever wants to open a show, really. Nobody wants to open it, nobody wants to end it. So she put them in the worst position right off the bat and called it a reward. She called it a prize. Yeah, right. And they all had separate categories. The first one was Sexy Drag Queen. Second one was Most Busted Drag Queen. Third was Shadiest Queen. And fourth was Meatiest Tuck. Now, Sexy Drag Queen was given to Jaden Dior Fierce and Kennedy Davenport. Most Busted Drag Queen was given to Max and Pearl. Shadiest Queen was Ginger Minge and Candy Ho. And the meatiest tuck was Violet Chachki and Mrs. Fame. And they were to present these awards. And I'm guessing everybody had to vote it on who they decided was whatever the award was. So, yeah, kind of works. It also allows you to throw shade and find out just what the other bitches think of you. Right off the bat, we experience technical difficulties. Ru brings in Kathy Griffin as the comedy coach. Now, that would normally be okay if she had any intention of actually coaching, but we could see in the video, I don't know if she did any actual coaching, but it seemed mostly like she was trying to throw them off. 'Cause, yeah, she went in just, it's not funny enough, not gay enough, not enough, enough. Go over. I don't like it. I don't like it. Calm down. They have no idea what they're doing. Be professional. Hold their hand a little bit. Just a little bit. They ain't comedy. Violet and Miss Fame sure as hell ain't comedy, so. Bit mean. And Rue walks into the room like she does. And there is a moment. A stare-off. A gunslinging type showdown at the OK Corral type sunset type of thingy, high noon, with Pearl and awkward. At one point, Max even says, "I feel very uncomfortable right now." And after that moment, Pearl leaves the room for good 2-3 hours, maybe more. And Max is Max is fretting just a bit. Do I have to do this myself? Is she coming back? Might be going home. We both might be going home. This is not good. Pearl finally gets back and gets her head back with Max's help. I swear that bitch is gonna win Miss Congeniality, if nothing else. Because, really, her track record for keeping people's heads in the game, stellar. So we finally get onto the runway. And Mrs. Kasha Davis is doing the whole rich white bitch look again. And she and Katya open the show. Now, Katya, for once, is not wearing her huge wig. Apparently, that was a bad idea, but let's get into that later. And the opening was a bit flat. Now, with the performance in the mini challenge, you kind of expect more from Mrs. Kasha Davis. A bit flat. And she flubbed her first lines. Yeah. And in the Untucked, when they go into the Untucked, she says that most of the material was Katya's. Now, I call bullshit. If you can improv a Joan Rivers impersonation that's hilariously funny and makes Rue go ha 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 in 15 minutes while having to make up 2 looks because you decided to dress yourself up as well, you should have owned that shit. Anywho, next we have Kennedy Davenport and Jaden Dior Fierce presenting Sexy Sexy Drag Queen. And I can see they were going for the ghetto vibe. Girl. And they presented it to Miss Fame, because she is a sexy, sexy drag queen. She's too damn pretty. Too pretty. Next, we have Max and Pearl, and Pearl brought it. She really brought it. And I'm guessing that's what the judges wanted to see. Cause that impression is just priceless. They present the award to they present the award to Jaden Dior Fierce, who is fierce, but the other ones don't think so. Loved that acceptance speech. It was good, girl. It was good. Next up comes Candy Ho and Ginger Man giving the award for Shadiest Queen. And yeah, you could see that Candy Ho was supposed to be the straight man of that pair. Classic doubles. But the judges didn't get it. and basically called her not funny. Not very nice. I mean, they should have did a good job. The straight man's job is to hold up the other comedian to basically set up the jokes. Who cares if they're not funny? I mean, Dean Martin wasn't funny when he set up the jokes for Jerry Lewis. What else? But yeah, they give the award to, and we all knew this one was coming, Violet Chachki. Cause she's a bitch. We all know it. We all acknowledge it. We've gone over this several times. She's a bitch, and she won an award for it. Had an appropriate acceptance speech too, using an iconic acceptance speech, but flipped the script. Instead of, you like me, you really like me, it was, you hate me. Because, yeah, you can't really help but to hate somebody who acts like that much of a bitch. And doesn't seem to get that she's a bitch. And next up comes the award for Meatiest Tuck. They really aren't comedy queens, Violet and Miss Fame. Not... Whatever jokes they land were wah wah. No. Just. But anywho, they get through it eventually, and the meatiest tuck is Katya. And yeah, she's a funny bitch. She is. And I would recommend her own shows, Reflections and Regrets, especially Reflections. This week, the quote of the week is, if a tree falls in the forest and no one is around to touch me, does my vagina make a noise? We get down to the critiques. They're not too fussed about the looks. And surprisingly, nobody called Max on that gray wig that they told him not to wear last week. But Max and Pearl win that challenge, which is good. Brings up morale and shit. Good on them. But somebody really should have clocked that wig. Those two and Jaden and Kennedy are safe. Well, Jaden and Kennedy are safe, and the other one, so I don't know. The rest of them are stood up for critiques. It was not pretty, as far as Kennedy and, well, not Candy Ho and Ginger go. And they asked Violet why she thought that she got the award for Shadiest Queen. She still didn't seem to truly get it. Yeah, they don't like you, and we can understand why. You act like a bitch. You get the reaction that a bitch normally gets. They tried to tell you to stop being a bitch. You want to argue. So, use the bitch. Back and Untucked, we get all together. And, yeah, Mrs. Kasha Davis is not making any friends there. I mean, ooh. Just slinging it. Shade. And making excuses. Wasn't any of my material. You still could have earned it. You could have changed it. You could have made it yours. But you didn't. So, on to the main stage. And Candy Ho and Mrs. Kasha Davis are up for elimination. They lip sync, and Candy starts off slow, where Kasha starts off big. Kasha stays big, but Candy builds it up. She takes it to church. And for this reason, Candy, even though they hated her look and didn't think she was funny, gets to stay. But yeah, she took him to church. That was a good lip sync, yo. So Kasha Davis sashays away. And we won't be seeing the rich white lady look no more. Is that a real loss? The only thing we're gonna miss is Mrs. Kasha Davis' voice is just ow. Everyone says Cowardly Lion. I think Tim Curry. Definitely. So 9 queens remain. One more show until Snatch Game. I am so looking forward to that. Let's see what they put them through next week. Starting tomorrow evening for those in the States. And Tuesday morning for me. Bye-bye now. Thanks for watching.